Hello and welcome back. As we have seen how to install Anaconda, let's start using Anaconda and learn Python. To learn Python, we need an integrated development environment. There are many environments for Python like PyCharm, Spider, Jupyter Notebook. Let me introduce you to Jupyter Notebook. To open Jupyter Notebook, you need to click on your Start menu, and in Anaconda 3, you will have Jupyter Notebook. You can click on that. It opens up a command prompt like this, and this command prompt is the server, and it opens up a you know browser based integrated development environment. You need to navigate to the folder in which you want to create the files. I am going into the LMS folder, and in there I am going to Python and then code files. And in there, if you want to create a Python file, you need to click on new and say Python 3. It will open up an untitled notebook. You can change the name of this by clicking on this, but before that, let us see what it created in the folder. In code files, it created an untitled.ipynb IPython notebook. You can rename it, maybe for testing purposes I am saying test Python. As soon as you rename the file in the corresponding folder, the file gets renamed as test Python. You can type, you can write all Python, statements, methods you can call. The print method I am calling now, hello world. And to execute, I said control enter. We'll learn more shortcuts in a moment. So this is how you need to create a new IPython notebook file. I have already created a Python introduction to Python file. Let us open that and then try to learn a little bit of Python here. So we'll start with variable declaration. To declare variables, you can actually say variable 1 or any name you can give and assign a value. Unlike C and Java language, no need to specify the data type here. Automatically Python will now take the data type. We have assigned an integer value, the data type of the variable becomes integer. If we assign a float value, the data type of the variable becomes float. So I have taken two variables here, variable 1, variable 2, and I summed it up and created variable 3. And I called print method of Python and then trying to print variable 3. Let us see what happens. To execute this cell, we call this as a cell, right? IPython notebook cell. To execute this cell, we may have to either do control enter or shift enter. Let me do control enter and show you. I am holding control and pressing enter. So when I pressed the control and enter, I've got the result, the 22, the result variable 3 value got printed. So here the variable 1, variable 2 got added and got assigned to variable 3, and I'm printing that value as 22. So you can actually use other shortcut keys also, like shift enter. If you say shift and enter, it executes this and moves on to the next cell. I don't know whether you observed it or not. If you press control enter, the cell gets executed and it stays in the same cell like this. See that? The focus is on the same cell. Okay? If you say shift enter, it executes the current cell and goes into the next cell. See that? The focus moved to the next cell. Okay? Like this, we have other shortcut keys also. If you say escape and A, I am not holding escape key. I just said escape and then said A. It created a new cell, fresh brand new cell on top of the current cell. If I focus, keep my focus on this cell and say escape and B, and it created a new cell on the bottom of the current cell. So to remove these cells, you can say escape, I did not hold it, DD, double D, it will remove the cell. And again escape double D, because those unnecessary cells I have removed them. So these are shortcuts, and there are many more shortcuts here in help, keyboard shortcuts. You can actually go through this and then play with it. So generally, these are the most useful ones. If you want to do some more, maybe undo the remove cell or whatever, right? All those things are available in the edit menu. Or you can run a cell by focusing on the cell and clicking on this run. Or you can interrupt a cell, already executing cell, maybe an infinite loop, something is there you want to interrupt. You can actually interrupt it by pressing on this interrupt, whatever, the button. Okay. So the next cell, let's move on to next cell and try to do more. The variable 1 I declared 10, the variable 2 I declared 12.2, and summing them 2 into variable 3. So here the variable 3 is going to get a 22.2 value, which is a float value. The Python will automatically assign the variable type. So let me execute this and see the result. Variable 3 has got 22.2. Let us try to look at the type of the variable 3. So in Python we have got a method called type, which actually gives you the data type of a variable. Type of variable 3 actually gives you float. It automatically assigned the data type. The Python interpreter automatically assigned the data type. Python can be used as calculator. The plus, minus, star operators can be used as arithmetic operators, and the parenthesis can be used as grouping operator. If you try to sum up 3, 6, 3 and 6 using plus, it gives you 9. Here I am grouping 50 minus 5 into 6. It's going to be 20 by 4 is going to be 5. So I am doing control enter. That's where it is getting executed and staying in the same cell. You can use divide operator to divide two numbers. If you use single divide, it will give you a decimal, fractional value as the result. It's the multiplier of 3. When you multiply 3 with 5.66 and so on 66, you will get approximate value of 17. If you use double slash, it will give you only integer part. Sometimes it may be useful. If you use double slash, it will give you only integer part of the coefficient. It eliminated the decimal part of the coefficient. If you want to get the remainder, you may have to use the mod operator. If you use mod operator, it will give you remainder. 2 is the remainder. If you say 5 3s are 15 and then the remainder is 2. So that's about the introduction, right? The basic preliminary data types and how Python can be used as calculator. In the next video, we will learn more about strings. Thank you.